Hello there. Are you interested in having your face painted? Wonderful. You're lucky, we've been super busy all day, but it's just now calmed down a bit. I think they're announcing the winner of the pumpkin carving contest, or the best built scarecrow, or it might be the seasonal pie parade in the big picnic tent. Now that's something I might consider ditching the booth to participate in. They give out so many free samples. But I should stop yammering and do my job. Here we have a few books, if you'd like to flip through the examples. We can go bright and colourful to dark and sultry. As elaborate or simple as you'd like. We have full face and half face options, or some very subtle designs to just add an accent. Like on your cheek or around your eye, or anywhere else you might want. I once had a customer who only wanted a twirly black moustache, nothing else, just a thin line of black on his upper lip. He was dressed as a villain, though, so it did finish off his costume perfectly. But I always thought it was an interesting story, one of the simplest designs I've ever done that ended up working so well. A lot of people come to the fall festival in costume, so I've seen and painted anything you could possibly imagine. May I ask what your costume is? I thought so, but I've seen so many variations that I didn't want to guess wrong. It's always a bit awkward when I'm so sure about my answer, only to find out I was completely off the mark, or someone else just created a different take on it. I found it's better just to ask up front rather than try my luck and embarrass myself. But that costume looks so very nice on you. I can tell that you put a lot of time and thought into creating it. Now, I dare say the only thing missing is a face painted to match. Yes, I think something more intricate will complement your look best, but if you're thinking more understated, I can work with that as well. Part of the fun for me is deciding how to make any level of detail work the best for customers' needs. What are you thinking that you'd like? Oh, I see. That would look perfect with your costume. Oh, I'm getting excited now. This is going to be such a fun look. I can create that aesthetic in some form with whatever price range you're working with. What would that range be, if you don't mind my asking? Perfect. I'll make you look even more amazing than you already do. Just consider it the cherry on top. Or I suppose, the whipped cream on the pie. I'm sorry, that was a terrible bit of seasonal humour. Well, I guess it isn't humour if no one's laughing. Maybe I've just been working in this booth too long. All the pumpkin spice in the air might be getting to me, turning me a little loopy. Putting that aside, why don't you have a seat right over there, and I'll start on your look. All right, I'll begin by gently wiping down your face. I'm sure it's perfectly clean, but your skin is my canvas, and we need the freshest start possible to ensure your face paint stays on the rest of the day. Here, these are unscented wipes, so they won't irritate your skin. There we go. And I'll just pat you dry a bit. Perfect. Now, for the base colour, I'm thinking white or grey. I could also combine them in a sort of gradient if you'd like, but best of both choices. Okay then, I'm going to wet a few sponges and gather up the colours on them. I know, people argue that white isn't a colour, but it's easier to just call it that. What am I supposed to say? I'll prepare that tint? Or that shade? It would be too confusing for the average person. But some people are actually argumentative about the fact. I'm going to start sponging now, okay? It might be a bit cold. I know the air has a bite to it, so even though we try to use warm water, it chills pretty quickly. Alright, here we go. Like I was saying, I have some horror stories about snooty artist-type customers, let me tell you. People grilling me or my partners about technique, application and such, and all I can think is, paint your own grubby face if you think you're such an expert. It's not as easy as some people think. There really is an art to it. And just because you can paint a regular canvas or draw on paper doesn't mean you can jump right in and paint the human face. It's not always Rembrandt or anything, but it does take practice to gain the skill, like anything else. You have a wonderful facial structure, by the way. It really lends itself to this design. You're welcome. I don't think you could have picked a more fitting costume. I'd say you know the strengths of your own appearance. That's good. Not everyone is confident enough to say the same. But it doesn't really matter, you know. Everyone has at least one striking feature about them, even if they can't see it themselves. For you, I'd say... Well, sorry if this is odd, but your cheekbones are very nice. Yes, I'm serious. It's sort of my job to stare at faces, so I know pretty cheekbones when I see them. You're welcome. Okay, the base is done, so I'm going to start in with the other colours. You can pick 2 from this palette. What do you think? You got it. Alright, I'm going to use a smaller sponge this time and really get in around your eyes. Just look straight ahead for me. The sponge isn't too cold, is it? Okay, good. It's funny that I ask about the temperature. This is an outdoor autumn festival, so everyone knows what to expect. Even on the coldest of years, people always flock in the streets, no matter what. A few years back, it was even raining miserably, and people were just whipping out umbrellas and rain slickers and partying on like it was nothing. I know some of the rides shut down, but a lot of them stayed in operation anyway. I suppose it's just too wonderful of a tradition to miss out on because of a little bad weather. Okay, can you close your eyes for me? I need to paint your eyelids. Very good. This shouldn't take long. Yes, the atmosphere at these events is partially why I started doing this job. It's almost intoxicating, isn't it? The excitement in the air, all the booths with so many goods to explore, all the delicious food being cooked or fried, filling the air with that mouth-watering mixture of sweet and savoury aromas, all of them terribly unhealthy, but who gives 2 shakes? Not to mention all the contests and rides and novelty entertainment, there's nothing like festival atmosphere. Eyelids are all done. Now I need you to look straight up at the ceiling of the tent, so I can get in beneath your eyes. If you need to blink, go ahead, but do your best not to, just for a few seconds. Very good. Oh, you entered the drawing for that big barrel of candy corn. Oh, good luck. I still haven't made it over to enter my guess for how many pieces are in there. I'm usually pretty good at that kind of thing, but like I said, we've been swamped all day. And that plastic barrel is the size of a water cooler. It's got to be a big number, right? You can relax your eyes now. I'm going to move on to the paintbrush details. This is my favourite part, personally. It's what makes the design pop, you know? I'll just load up my brush with paint, and I'll start in the centre of your forehead. I'm going to lean my hand against your temple to steady the brush, if that's okay. All right. So, what will you do with all that candy corn if you win the drawing? Oh, I see. Bag it up and hand it out to trick-or-treaters. That's probably the most industrious answer I've heard all day, and I've been asking a lot of customers. Most people say they'll eat through it until Christmas or try and pawn it off on their family members, but you've got a really good mind for practicality, don't you? Just think of all the money you'd save on candy for the kiddies with a plan like that. You don't happen to have a career in finances, do you? Have you entered any other contests or participated in any other activities? Not interested in the baking stuff this year. I hear you. I prefer to be a basic consumer rather than a creator when it comes to the baked good events. Oh really? 4th place last year? Wow. I wish I'd been able to try that. It sounds amazing. I'm an absolute glutton for homemade food, whether it's baked, cooked, grilled, you name it, I'll eat it. So how come you didn't want to enter this year? Too much competition. Yeah, I could see that. Some people get way too serious about it too. And also, if winning a baked goods competition is their main achievement for the year, that's a big tragedy right there. So no baking. Got it. But tell me you've had some other kind of fun at least. You won a teddy bear from the dart stall. And a flower crown. Honey, you must have sharper aim than any sniper to pull that off. Alright, I've finished the left side of your face. Now I'll mirror the design on the right and you'll be all finished. Me? Well, I've had a few chances to walk around since the festival started yesterday, so... let's see. I bought some local honey, grabbed a funnel cake or two. They had these amazing cheese fries at one food truck. Oh, and I got talked into buying this braided bracelet from the weaving booth. It's not generally my style, but it kind of goes with the festival vibe, you know? Can't go wrong with black and orange for this time of year. It wasn't expensive either, so I thought, why not? Besides that, I've basically just eaten a lot of food. Yeah, that's the best part, and anyone who tries to say otherwise is flat out lying. Alright, just one more paint stroke right here, and all done. Take a look in this mirror and see if you like it. I'm so glad. It doesn't matter how long I've been doing this, there's always some people who want adjustments or, God forbid, a full redo. I'm very happy you like my work, and not to brag, but it really does go perfectly with your costume. Thank you, honey. It's been a pleasure to paint your fine cheekbones. You were a very pleasant customer as well, so thank you for being such kind company. Oh, don't mention it. You were easy to compliment. Huh. The pie parade is later this evening. Oh, so I haven't missed it yet. Thanks for letting me know. Oh, go together? Well, no, I don't have any other plans, so sure, that would be fun, as long as you don't want to be put off by just how many free samples I can stuff down. I'm just warning you, it might be an appalling amount of pie. Alright, if that doesn't scare you off, then I'd be happy to go with you. 6 o'clock in the pavilion. Sounds like a plan. Maybe afterward you can win me a teddy bear with that superhuman aim you've got. I'll gladly pay for the chance to see that with my own eyes. What do you say? Wonderful. You can just wait for me there. I'll be able to pick you out of the crowd easy, cheekbones. Alright. Bye-bye then. See you soon.
A special shout out to T-Drop's patrons. Nick, Shiny Volcarona, B, Constance Bloodstone, Shay, Emerson, X-Profane X, Kitty Cat Cosplay, Rebecca Kopek, Austin Burnett, Eli, Willie Beeman, Thundor 405, DJ 80822, Casey J, Ainsley C, Kinrad Stabowski, Andy, The Sleeping Nightingale, Ascari, and Inklace. Thank you so much for your support.